What's up, Fit Fam? Coach Rye from Team Flex here. We're going to dive into the criteria of wellness right now, and we're going to talk about, is it changing? Has it changed since when it started? Has everything I've been saying, since last year, the Olympia, all that, has that gone away based on our current day's winners? This is a question I've been getting a lot because of, some of the recent events and shows and placings, and people wondering, is the criteria changed? Is this where it's going? Is this where it's heading? And I'm going to tell you the answer in today's video. So if you're competing in wellness, you're thinking about competing in wellness, you want to do better in wellness, you definitely want to make sure you're watching this full and you're subscribed to my channel because I do tons of this awesome stuff all the time for you. So let's break into it. Okay, so I got some of the top athletes pulled up from some of these events that happened recently, right? We had like the Arnold Classic, we had Pittsburgh Pro, we had New York. Why can't I never say New York? New York Pro, all come together recently, and we had some interesting placings. As far as people were considering, like, what's going on with these athletes? What's up with the criteria? Is it more muscular than ever? And I'll explain a bit why. Like, we look at Giselle here, okay? She's the winner of actually both Pittsburgh Pro and New York Pro. We'll get there in a minute. Very, very muscular, very, very developed athlete. A lot of muscle in the glutes, a lot of muscle hamstrings, a lot in the quads, a lot of muscle. And I know a lot of women, are looking at this that are doing wellness and saying, whoa, is this the kind of muscle I got to be bringing to, win my class? And Cass, she took second. She won the Arnold. Don't have any pictures of the Arnold, but, she was here having a lot of muscle. A lot of people are like, what's going on with this muscle? And, how lean these are looking as far as, the abs and things like that. Are they getting too lean? Are competitors going too hardcore, right? And some of our other top fives, definitely Lily here, they're looking pretty muscular, pretty jacked up. They got a lot of muscle, a lot more frame compared to maybe some of our previous years. And I just want to say, okay, this is the way things have headed for these past few shows. It is not necessarily definition of the criteria, right? So we look here and we can see a lot of muscle on Giselle, quad sweeping, tie-ins, all stuff judges want to see, a lot of fullness to the glute. The upper glute, we see the same thing on Cass in a different way, right? Everybody's physique's a little bit different. Giselle's really pushing the amount of muscle she can hold as far as it goes, but overall, these are still very wellness physiques, ladies and gentlemen, right? We're seeing, upper body be disproportionately smaller, not as developed as the lower body, and that is what, makes this division. Here's some shots from New York Pro. We see a lot of the same things here. A lot of muscle, a lot of shape, a lot of size, a lot of people going, what's going on with this? And I want to tell you straight up the truth, okay? The way that this works, ladies and gentlemen, this sport is whoever shows up is going to have to play somewhere, okay? Like, that's how it works. So whoever shows up at the event, they're going to have to place somewhere. And basically what that means is, we're not going to necessarily say that this is the criteria of the division. This is the new standard look. This is what judges want to see. That's not really true. This is the look for the athletes that showed up that day and, who was best. So judging is done based on who's there. It's not judged based on like, okay, well, this, that. They got to look and see who fits the criteria best on that day. And that could be any number of people. It could be different people, the same people weekend after weekend. A good example would be Tiffany. She took fourth at Pittsburgh Pro. She came back like a week later and took a second at New York Pro. So these kind of things can change week to week. This does not mean the criteria has changed, okay? This is the criteria for these athletes at these shows. Also very small turnout here. Like New York Pro had 6 athletes at it. I will tell you guys this. There is no chance in my mind that anybody is going to come and beat Francili Matos, okay, for the Olympia title. There's no chance from anything I've seen thus far this season, and we're getting pretty well on into this season now, that there's nobody that's going to beat Francili, and we'll talk about a little bit of that right now and why. So if we look here side by side, okay, so Francili being the definition, the standard of our criteria. Like, this is what judges say when they place an Olympia athlete first. They say this is the standard, this is the criteria. We want to see this trickle down, through all the pros, all the way into the NPC, even down to your first show. Doesn't mean you got to look like her to be able to do wellness. but the criteria is the standard that's set. You know, the judges are looking for the same things all the way down to novice even, okay? We look here at Francili, okay? This is what makes wellness. The roundness of the shoulders, the fullness of that, key, gotta have that. That's what creates that upper body width. Narrow at the waist, this tapered look, this really creates this nice taper aesthetic that judges want to see. Not over dominance in the upper body as far as other muscle groups go, bicep, tricep, forearm. You know, we're not gonna see a lot of that. We'll see a little bit of a sweep to the lat, you gotta have a little bit of that. But you know, you want to have your arms be symmetrical, but not distracting, not taking away from the shoulders. Lower body wise, it's all about glute development, okay? So fullness to the glute, especially upper glute. If you watch my channel, I've done breakdown on breakdown on breakdown. I don't want to do too much of that. I just want to show you, for example, when we compare it to Giselle here, hamstring development on point to match that. Quad development on point to match that. The fullness, and then the conditioning, right? The soft lines that judges talk about. Soft lines they want to see. Soft lines, not hard striations and, you know, cuts and graininess that you would see in other divisions that are leaner. So we look at that. That's our standard. That's our criteria. Then we look over at Giselle, okay? She's won 2 big shows, you know, Pittsburgh Pro, New York Pro, back to back. And the reason is she has a lot of these markers, right? We're going to see that fullness to the shoulder. We're going to see that fullness to the glute, that taper in at the waist to a degree. You know, we're going to see some of that lat. We're going to see the hamstrings. We're going to see the quads. We are seeing all those things. She's definitely super muscular and she's still matching the criteria. We still got, you know, the upper body being disproportionate to the lower body, all of that. And we see these soft lines, a little bit harder maybe, but still some soft lines, things like that. So this is why she's winning these shows. She is outclassing by far the other athletes showing up at these competitions, but that doesn't mean if she stood up against next to Francili right now, you know, last weekend, New York Pro, okay, it doesn't necessarily mean she would win. Just because she won this competition doesn't mean she would win the Olympia, okay? And I don't see anybody coming to take the title from Francili at this point in this stage. You guys can write down my Olympia prediction is that and save it on your phone, do whatever, and talk shit to me later if it's wrong. But the point is, I'm not seeing it, okay? And we get to see just the definition of why Francili is wellness and the criteria all across right here in this pose. So we got Giselle. She's been winning she's been winning these past 2 competitions. Pittsburgh Pro, New York Pro, winning it. You know, who knows what she's doing next, but, you know, she'll probably win that too. Here's where we get to see the difference though, okay? She's got the shape, she's got the size, she's got all that. She is not on any caliber level near Francili in this back pose, okay? Like, when you look at Francili, you know, there's the shoulders, there's what we talked about. There's her keeping her arms symmetrical enough to not take away from the shoulders. She's still got that taper look even in this back pose with the hair down because of the lats. She's got the fullness to the glutes, the upper glutes. She's got this tie-in that's cutting through because of that glute development, and she's not too lean. The quad sweep on the outside, the hamstring development, it's just untouchable compared to what Giselle has here, you know, as far as physique. So my point with this comparison is Giselle is winning these pro shows, okay? Francili is winning, you know, any show she does pretty much, but obviously the Olympia. The difference is the criteria changes in the sense of show to show because Francili doesn't show up. So it'd be easy to look at that and say, okay, the criteria is different. They changed it. Judges want more muscle. They want a more muscular athlete. They're done with, you know, Francili's look. It's now harder. It's more muscular. No, it's not. You know, Giselle shows up. She's the best on stage that day compared to the other athletes that show up. And, you know, that's just what happens when you have different levels of pro athletes showing up at shows, very new pros, things like that. You're going to see some pros that have been doing this a while, might be a little bit more advanced showing up, and they're going to come and win. But by no means does this mean that, you know, anybody's going to dethrone Francili. I don't see it happening. And, you know, Issa Nunes, obviously she's going to be another top athlete. We didn't compare her in this video. But the point is, ladies and gentlemen, the criteria is not changing. Don't go try to get overdone big and muscular and lean and all this right now. That's not the focus. Stick to the criteria. We know the criteria. The standard is still Francili, okay? So let me know if you agree with me in the comments below. Do you think wellness is changing? Do you think the criteria is shifted? Do you think I'm totally off base with what I'm saying? Let me know. Or do you agree? Let me know. I want to hear it. I want to hear from you guys. Make sure that you're subscribed to the channel. We got tons of great content, awesome videos coming, more stuff coming that helps you be a better competitor all the time. And let me know what you want to see next. I'm taking from the comments, and I'm making different videos based on what you want to see. So let me know. Thanks for watching. Coach Rye is out.